Hey everybody, so we're going to continue on with our little short review here of the different colonial regions. And in this video, we're going to be talking about the New England colony. So the colonies up there in kind of that on the very top in that sort of reddish orange color, that's the region we're going to be talking about today. And again, just so you know specifically what we're going to be talking about, we're going to talk about their climate, their economy, how they make their money. We're going to talk about maybe the reasons why those colonies were established and their relationship with the Native Americans that they run into. So we'll cover all of that. So the New England colonies are going to consist of Massachusetts, Rhode Island, Connecticut, and New Hampshire. Okay, those are the New England colonies. And one of the things you need to know about up in that region, just think about where it is in the United States. It's way up north, right? So you can imagine the climate up there. If you've never been up north, it's cold, y'all. It's cold and the soil is kind of rocky and thin, and it's not very, the soil isn't very rich with nutrients to grow things. And because it's so cold, they have really short growing seasons. So when we talked about the southern colonies being warm and the rich soil and it was perfect for growing stuff, New England is like the exact opposite. It's just not a good place to base your economy on agriculture. Okay, so they're going to have to find some other way to make money in New England, right? Well, one of the good things that the New England colonies has is lots of forests. And when you have lots of forests, you have lots of wood, which you can make into timber and you can make stuff, right? So one of the things that the New England colonies has going for them is plentiful forests, and they are very close to the sea, okay, very close to water. So because of that, their economy is going to end up being based on timber industry, like providing wood, right, to make things, shipbuilding, like the picture you see down there at the bottom, fishing, right? So just think about how today, like lots of fishermen in Florida make money because they're like shrimpers, or they go out and they catch stuff and they sell it to businesses, right? Okay, well, in New England, they were fishing. They were whaling. Whale fat and blubber and was used to make oil to burn lamps, right, before electricity. And they're also going to be heavily involved in commercial trade. So New England colonies, because it's cold up there and the soil is poor for growing things and you have a short growing season, they're going to make their money selling timber, building ships, fishing, whaling, and trading. That's how they're going to make their money, okay? When it comes to the relationship with the Native Americans, okay, the New England colonies are probably going to have the worst relationship with the Native Americans out of all three regions. And one of the reasons for that is because the New England colonies, especially Massachusetts, are going to be established for religious reasons. Okay, we're going to talk about the Puritans in just a second. And the whole reason the Puritans come to America is because they were being persecuted in England for their religious beliefs. So they come over to the colonies and they established, the colony in Massachusetts for religious reasons, not so much for money making. Yes, they had to make money, but really they were coming over for religious freedom. Well, you can imagine when those Puritans meet and see these Native Americans, they're looking at them like they are a bunch of heathens and sinful. And one of the things that is their Christian duty is to convert the Native Americans. Well, you can imagine how the Native Americans feel about that, right? They are not about being converted to Christianity. So because the Puritans are like, trying to convert them and they don't want to be converted, and on top of that, they're encroaching on their land, you are going to see the relationship there between the colonists and the Native Americans being probably the worst out of all those relationships, all those regions, right? They traded with the Indians at first, but it's going to eventually evolve into a much worse relationship. So much so that in the New England colonies, we're going to see the first war between the Native Americans and the New England colonists. And it's going to be called King Philip's War. Sometimes you'll see it called the Pequot Wars. Okay, but that's the same thing. So as the English population increases in the New England colonies, they're going to conflict more with the natives. They're going to try to force them to convert, and you're going to see King Philip's War take place in the New England colonies. By the way, the colonists will win that war, okay, because eventually they outnumber the Native Americans. So hopefully you have a better understanding of the climate in the New England colonies, why they do what they do to make their money, right? Their relationship with the Native Americans, and the war that will eventually be fought between the colonists and the Native Americans because of that strained relationship.